time, we'll call the Tuesday, July 13th, 2021 meeting of the Jackson County Board of Supervisors to order. And Larry McDevitt, Mike Steinis, and myself, County Supervisors. Lisa Smith, County Auditor, Bjorn Beck, cameraman, was teaching her this time, and then next year, next week, she's gonna run it herself.
The next 6 weeks.
And of course, Luann Volpe, our administrative assistant. First item is the public hearing on proposed ordinance number 294, which is a speed limit ordinance or speed limits on 295th Avenue. 395th, sorry about that.
So I thought we were going to 25, not 30.
That's correct.
Did you open the public hearing?
Yes, I open the public hearing.
So on the resolution, it says 30 miles an hour.
Other than that, it needs to be corrected.
I mean, that's what I.
No, it says, yeah, it says 30. Yep.
Okay.
I'll scratch that.
That is definitely needs to be fixed. I think I moved before the last meeting.
Oh, no, this one says 25.
Yeah. We'll make it consistent. We'll check it.
That would be.
Well, this one don't have the ordinance number on it, but it says 25. Yeah.
Actually, this is what Shelley gave me this morning, so.
Okay, but
Does it say 25? This one says 30.
So this one says 25. though.
We will get them consistently 25.
Well, if there's no comments from the public, I would make a motion to close the public hearing.
Have a second?
I need a second. Yes.
A motion and a second to close the public hearing on the proposed speed limit ordinance on 395th. What is the pleasure of the board?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
So where did I read it? It was 30 last, that must have been on the one last night, the other one.
So you passed your first hearing?
So
What are you gonna do with 2 and 3?
Are we going to waive the hearings for 2 and 3, or are we going to have another public hearing next week?
well, if we didn't have any comments today in the first public hearing, I think we could waive it.
I would agree. Do you want that added to your previous?
Well, I thought
motion?
that was the next order of business, but maybe we can do that all at once.
Okay, I would second that motion.
I would make a motion to pass the ordinance as presented and waive the second and third.
Readings. Okay, and we have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Not related to this, but somewhat. I did talk to a lady and she thanked us for doing the blacktopping at Leisure Lake, but also felt concerns with the rest of the road. Because there's a lot of younger people that bicycle and do stuff out there about maybe, well, she asked if she could pave it. I suggested maybe the association could do dust control. But I said one thing we could do would be to lower the speed limit on there for that section. Just because there's a lot of kids on bikes and stuff going out there and with the dust.
On the public road, there's lots, there are more in the
Well,
Leisure Lake itself.
Thing is, they come out onto that thinking it's part of the park and it's not.
Never really seen anything like that out there, but
I don't know what would the speed limit be there now.
I think it's 35 or 30. I have to check.
Oh,
That's one of the locations where we do want to get a speed and volume study. I have to
Okay.
post out there. I just have to, the counter we bought, we returned and we're gonna purchase a different one, so it'll take us a while to get that.
Okay, well, that'd be a
But we
good place to go.
We can
I
do
mean,
that, yeah.
yeah, let's do that and see what it
See what
warrants.
it's doing, what it looks like.
Okay, the next item is City of Preston's RCTP project agreement.
Correct. Those are the 3 projects that the board approved. This is the agreement that Preston is first out of the gate with. It's for their $25,000 grant for installing several rectangular rapid flashing beacons on 64 and near the high school. So we recommend approval of that.
Motion to approve.
I would second.
The motion is approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
The only agenda items I have other than the culvert on 380th Avenue is slated to begin next week, so that they'll have to be taking the back way around that culvert because it'll be removed and replaced. Take about 2 weeks. So we'll send some letters up to those folks to let them know that they're gonna have to come in the back way for that period of time. till we
Is
get
that-
replaced?
That's a level B though, right?
It's a unmaintained A, is how Mike described it to me.
So do we
It's-
need to do something with that?
They have taken excess aggregate from a DOT project, so it's passable, but you wouldn't want to be doing it in March when things are soft.
So we're 1, 2,
There's about 3 or 4.
Three.
lines there, Yeah,
So where's 380?
it's up past the golf course.
yeah, yeah.
That was an 11-ton bridge.
Old
Yeah.
limestone embankments and things, 1 lane.
Yeah.
So that's one of the projects that we have for this year, so
Just don't hit your golf ball that far.
No, that's not that far.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
I know there's a gentleman constructing in the midst of constructing. a
Yeah,
house
yeah.
there too, so I don't know if that's on this side of it, though, right? It's on the south
I
side.
think it might just
I don't,
be-
I'm not sure, I guess, now that you say that. Huh. Yeah,
Okay, do we have any visitors or citizens?
Dave, I got a question, yeah, could you just give me an update or maybe update or on the mowing, how's that going? I had a few calls, like where they come up to stop signs and
Yeah,
they almost gotta get out in the road to see if anything's coming.
they're out, but they were hauling more gravel later in the year, so.
Okay.
But they are out and about, and if
Well-
there are locations that are site distance issues that you hear about, let us know and we can make sure to get operator out there. I've had one person call me from far western portion of the county, I think it was. And the great mower was in the area that and be getting him in a day or so, but
Okay, yeah, I know he, somebody,
I
right
can
where
send
that bridge
forward.
is out, that road there, I think somewhere in there.
So where's that bridge going out? When they closed?
Kevin?
Yeah.
It's closed. We got an estimate to remove it and it's not inexpensive to do.
Oh, I'm sure
So
it
it's-
is.
I mean, with $40,000 to pull that out. So I guess that's a larger question is, do we want to do that and plan for it next year? With next year's budget?
Feelings on what it's, I mean, people are still gonna be getting on it.
Yeah, and it's over, water that
Trail.
people are using.
Yeah.
So probably
Well, I think we should
wouldn't
put it
be
in next year's
unwise.
budget and just make sure we have it barricaded as best we can to keep people off of it.
It's pretty tight. I mean, the peds might be able to get through there. I've been in contact with a gentleman who lives on the southwest corner pretty frequently. He hasn't called and told me that kids or anybody is messing around with it, so.
So next year's budget, that's
Well,
2 years out.
I know.
yeah, we have let's see what we can do.
Well, maybe we get closer to
Scrape
the
up
end
the
of the
money.
year, maybe we have some.
We do have some
You're having
funds
funds for
that we have
carryover.
some capacity to do things like this. We were looking to, and I was gonna discuss it next week. We were looking to do some additional patching and
Yeah,
paving.
well, that's good too.
Amen.
So
Now we
the
know.
other question is, do you wanna take the bridge out instead of paving 33rd Street or
I,
something, for
I
example?
just wish I would have. I just wish, yeah, we know how bad that bridge is, I guess. You surely don't want anything to happen, but
Yeah,
So the cost to take it out, do we get the bridge? Because there's a lot of steel in that bridge,
Usually it becomes the contractors,
usually.
usually.
Hmm.
I mean, you just
Is there any way-
scrap it, you wouldn't be able to reuse it anywhere, I don't think. It's in pretty tough shape.
Not
Yeah, I'm
as
just
old as
thinking the
it is.
scrap price because it's, I don't know.
Is that an all-time high?
It is, maybe we can put it out for bid for salvage.
We've seen
Well, you
cancel.
could, but you'd have to have a reputable contractor taking it down, you know, it's not a
Still
30 feet long.
Yeah, what is it, 120
Yeah.
Yeah,
or 130? How much, what would it weigh? I'm just curious.
I have
I
no
guessed
no
it.
idea.
oh God,
Wouldn't-
a lot.
Heavy.
Yeah,
I mean, they'd probably take the planks out and then just, you know, hoist the truss right off. I think Dean was looking at it too as winter work.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
And any other updates on some of our projects, bridge on, what is it?
Light Oak Creek,
Yeah.
Dan's looking at the end of August to start that. It's got so much work. And the paving projects on the southeast, they're patching and doing culvert repair and should be hitting the surfaces in that week or so.
Okay.
good.
Appreciate it.
Onward and over. Over the river, so through the bridge. Now, do we have any visitors or citizens? Seeing none? You want to do your agenda items, Lisa?
I can do my agenda item, yes. Motion to approve the minutes of the July 6th, 2021 board proceedings as written by Auditor Smith and authorize publication in the official newspapers.
So moved.
The motion and a second to approve the publication of our minutes from July 6th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
That's all that I have for the board today.
You are short and sweet.
Just an update, if you don't know, we do have a situation with our storm drain and sanitary sewer drain, and that's why the email went out yesterday that we weren't gonna have restroom facilities or water. We have hired Joel Woods Plumbing to come in, dig down and repair the break. And what they're thinking about is the local contractor didn't know that we were gonna be doing that today, that's doing some underground work. And so it's been canceled for today. So the courthouse will probably not have any water or restroom facilities on Thursday. Hopefully not all day.
And we know where the break is.
This started last week when the crews that are working on the Platt Street project encountered a situation. Alliance Water came in and talked to me, and long story short, we got Marty involved, Jack was here. They ran a camera down our line, and we don't know exactly when, but we do have a picture of when they do all this boring, how they can shoot stuff through. Well, it goes directly through the middle of our sanitary drain.
interesting.
I thought I
So,
read something about that somewhere that we thought that,
yeah,
do we know the contractor to that?
we do not know the contractor. That contractor was hired from MediaCom, and MediaCom was here yesterday. I spoke with two technicians, and I'm trying to get a guarantee or an assurance that they'll pay the bill, but I haven't received anything yet. But the individual that I talked to yesterday was pretty confident that I just didn't want to have to wait 6 months to get.
Right,
our money.
amen.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the reason for the water shutdown.
Well, that's a little inconvenient, huh?
You know, as long as we prepare everybody, and that
Yeah.
was the email that I sent out today. It's according to the contractor that rain is coming in tomorrow, and he didn't want to open that up. So Thursday is our targeted date to repair that.
Okay, my next question is, since we already had taken action on the recorder's fiscal year, is she still coming in or,
I'm sure she is.
okay,
I didn't. know
She
that
brought me
was going to
copies
do that.
yesterday, so
huh?
she brought me those copies yesterday.
The which we already approved last week.
Yes. Yeah, I was unaware that she was going to present.
So we'll recess till we're joined by her. She should be coming any minute if she's going to. This time we're and we are being joined by Irving Chop, Jackson County Recorder.
Good
Morning.
Morning.
I'm here to present fiscal year-end report for 2021. And you should have copies there
Yes,
in
we
your
do.
books. So on the first page, I just put what the county revenue would be, the 197 or $197,516.33 for the year. It's an increase of 30,446 from last year. And on the second page, the state total is of the money we collect that goes directly to the state is $408,185.25, which is an increase of $106,224. So the total revenue brought up in for last fiscal year was $605,701.60, which is an increase over last year of $136,500. So, and if you look on the third page, I just put some numbers there on the right-hand column in pencil so you could see where the increases or decreases were.
Passport fees are down.
Of course, yeah, they were, but they're on the rise again, let me tell you.
That's good.
So, any questions? Oh, and then I also included, I think, didn't I include this sheet also, which just gives you a rundown of the last 15 years. So, which I think is pretty interesting,
Yes.
so.
Thank you.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Good work.
Okay, do you have to approve it here?
It's done.
Oh,
We
it's
did
done
that.
already? You presented it already?
Last week.
Okay, all right. Okay, I also, if you have a few minutes, I'd like to address the key conversation that you guys had on June 29th at the meeting. I was unaware that this discussion was going to be brought up, so I wasn't there to voice my opinions or concerns. And just listening to the meeting, I still think there probably is a little bit of confusion as what we're trying to accomplish. So I would like to invite all three of you to come down at the same time so you can visually inspect what we're trying to accomplish in our office. I know there were a couple of suggestions made. Issuing keys for the east door to employees is not going to work because that would put the integrity of our office at risk, because those employees could enter or exit our office anytime 24/7. It wouldn't be just during working hours. The keypad on the inside customer door could be a solution. I agree with that. My only concern is the congestion of abstractors, employees, surveyors, genealogists having to walk through that area around other customers, which again, you wouldn't realize unless you actually walked in there and took a look at it. So I would invite you to come down. With the keypad, another concern would be that that door would be opening and shutting a lot, which would lessen our security as well, coming in and out of our office. And like I said, I'm not opposed to the keypad, but I don't want to spend for something that's not going to solve the problem.
Didn't you want a fob on the east door? Is that what you wanted to begin with, right?
On the east
What's the
door.
difference if it's a fob or a key? The gentleman said you're replacing the fob with a key.
Okay. The east door is to the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay, if I give all employees in the courthouse or the employees that come into my office a key, they can enter and exit my office at any time, 24/7.
But
Because they
you're
can,
gonna give them a fob anyway.
you just said key. The fob can be programmed for 8:30 to 4:30, having access. The keys cannot. Not that anybody would do that.
But they don't have a way to get into the courthouse after hours, so do
Yes, they have keys to get into the courthouse, most of us, don't we?
the employees, yeah.
Yes.
And we have cameras.
So
But
the
you're not
employee,
talking about abstractors and such coming in after hours. You're talking about,
the
just the
employees
employees.
themselves, yes.
we trust the employees that work here.
I
correct?
would hope so, but I also don't want someone entering my office when I'm not there. Those records that are in there are very, very important, and I would hate to see anything happen to them. So. And over this last 17 years, as far as my budget, I've always been under budget, returning money at the end of the year. And again, we bring in thousands and thousands of dollars a year, and I don't usually ask for much. But I guess I would like to invite all three of you down to take a look, and hopefully we can. I'm not, like I said, I'm not opposed to the key fob or the keypad if it's gonna work properly. But I would like the three of you to come down and take a look, if you have a few minutes.
We will try to
So-
arrange that.
Well, I hope that you do, and I hope all three of you come at the same time. Okay,
Yeah.
appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is Sarah Davenport, Jackson County Attorney.
Morning.
Good morning.
Well, I drafted a resolution to designate portions of the courthouse as non-public areas that would have signage per your request following the meeting with Judge Lawson. I did take it to security committee, asking for some assistance on language, and no one really had any. So this is kind of what I came up with. The biggest thing is trying to define areas that aren't already secured. So like in my office, obviously the public can come into the area where Jesse's is, and I sometimes need them to come into my office or whatnot. So I just kind of did a catch-all. It would be the same also for like Lisa's office, where there's a counter, but there is a space that's not otherwise preventing people from going past. And that's at numbered 6. I just put any area of the remaining offices located at the courthouse that are properly signed as non-public. Logistically, I don't know what that means as far as putting signs. I guess it would kind of leave it up to each individual office as how they want to handle it.
You could still invite somebody.
Well, and I did put, so I modeled this after the one in Cedar County, and I added, shall not be authorized, and I added, except upon approval by an authorized agent of a respective non-public area. So if Lisa has somebody from the public she wants to bring into her office, for example, she can do that without then inviting everybody to come back.
Makes perfectly good sense to me.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna invite somebody in there, you're certainly gonna
Stay with them.
check,
and
well,
make
check
sure
what's
they're-
on your desk, or make sure there's nothing for them to take a picture of, or something like that. That's.
Who's gonna pay for the signs in the district court area?
Not, I have no idea.
So what happens if we do nothing? We have this resolution.
I don't know.
Are we going to give this resolution to the state? Is that what you would like me to do? Is to say,
Well, Mark has been CC'd, so he's seen this, I guess. He's off this week, on vacation. So I don't know where we go from here.
Wouldn't you present it to 7th district?
Right,
Yeah,
I can definitely forward this to Kim Hess, the clerk of court. Let her know that if you decide to pass this today.
well, and I guess, I don't know what the signs are supposed to say.
Okay, because I was like,
I'll be honest with you. No, some kind of do not go past this
This is
without
more,
approval or something.
it should be filed with HIPAA, right? That's our main concern, isn't it?
No, our main
No.
concern was these, what do they call them? Freedom. I don't know.
something, yeah.
These people that are coming and trying to cause confrontations in public areas to
That's
then get money by posting it on YouTube. So by having this, then we can say when they try to go, no, this is a non-public area, you cannot come here. If you do, then we're gonna bring the sheriff over and have you charged with trespass. And then that's why you would want the sign, so that it's clearly designated where those areas are.
So who has seen, this us have seen this, or have this resolution so far? Has it been shared with anyone else?
Well, it went out to whoever would have gotten the emails for the security meeting. Absent the two changes that were
But
highlighted.
not the courts or not Mark or?
Mark did, yes,
Okay.
and he said he was fine with it. He's
Okay.
seen both the pre-security meeting and the post-security meeting version.
Well, it's certainly a good start, I would say.
Yeah, I would say if he's okayed it, it should be satisfactory to approve it.
And if they need signage in their area, I would think that it's their responsibility.
That's what I'd like to say, is that I don't want us or Marty or I want them to be responsible for their own signage.
They need to know where they need to put it.
It's for them to
Yeah,
decide.
they
Yes.
decide where they're gonna put their signage.
And do we need to have that okayed first before we approve this?
What, okay,
That they're gonna take care of their own signage and placement?
that's up to you. I mean, this allows for signage. It doesn't specify anything as far as what's gonna be on the sign, who's gonna be responsible, where the signs are
Okay.
gonna go.
Okay.
So, I mean.
So
that
if
can
Lisa
decide
decides to
whether
put a
you're
sign
gonna-
up by her little runway there, that's up to her.
It can be. I mean, again, that's up to, I mean, if the board wants to do one mass, we're gonna do signs, this is what they're gonna say, this is where we're gonna put them, you can. If you don't wanna do any and you just wanna leave it up to each individual office, that's completely up to you.
Or couldn't we just send an email or something with the resolution saying that, signage is up to your discretion where you want it and what you want it to say, or do we want to say what we want it to say?
I'm okay forwarding the resolution in an email to Kim and probably Kathy Gaylord. It seems like Kathy gets involved in quite a bit of.
And all of the other county offices too.
Well, yes, but I will specifically talk to the court because I want them to decide where to put a sign at. That way, if something should happen, I don't want to be responsible that I didn't put a sign someplace.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
just to be clear, the issues that were happening in other counties weren't happening in the court system. They were happening in the county offices. So,
Well, since this was brought forth from Mark, that's
Right.
why I just want to,
yeah,
so I can mail this out to all department heads. I will do a separate email to Kim.
and I would just CC Mark so he knows because he's the
Okay.
liaison.
Yep.
So should we have some signs made up that is posted in the hallway so people, if you say you gotta turn that thing off or you can't go in there because of that, I mean, ordinance number, whatever.
Well, here again, we have to decide what the sign would say and where to place that. sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So do
wording
we-
is
It
gonna
has
be
to be
important.
someplace the public can see it
Oh, absolutely.
before we can.
Well, if
enforce
they
it,
walk
right?
into the office or up to the office, it can surely be
Mhm.
there. I mean, it doesn't have to be in the hallway, I would think, but if you enter, well, if you get in the office, at least Lisa's office, just.
What's the sign that's on the door outside right now? Who
Who
knows, right?
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Aren't there multiple signs in the door?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Right, see that, I mean, honestly, who looks at those signs that are on doors?
Well, the thing is, though, I mean, like Sarah's saying, the sign is there, so you can't do it. If they're gonna come in and try to cause trouble or try to access something, the sign says you can't. So it is there, whether they read it or not, it's there.
Now your sign says, please use the other door.
That's the simplest one.
Yeah.
But there is no other.
We get a lot more work done that way.
I would think we would come up with some kind of
Okay.
appropriate wording and not beyond this point or,
And there's several counties that have
Yes,
this already,
yes.
correct?
And maybe that's what we need.
And maybe we need
Yeah,
some-
Hancock County, I wanna say, is the one that was sent to us prior to the meeting with.
So maybe they can
Judge
have
Lawson.
somebody take a picture of it. send it to us.
Yeah, it doesn't say you can't sign it to your sign.
So maybe it's just a matter of knowing that it's beyond this point.
yeah.
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 And
maybe
I don't
something.
know if we need to have a sign that says, don't photograph people's desks. Or if it's just a matter of just saying when
You're
you
not
notice it, just stop.
allowed
making
past
noise.
this point, and that's, if they need an explanation, then you have to give an explanation. That's why.
Well, I'm thinking of like Lisa's desk. She has this box that people can stand on and somebody could stand on it, and, you know, we
Yeah,
never do
I said
that.
that before, yeah.
I stood on that box a lot.
So, you
there you
know,
go, just
we
take the
also
box
want
out.
to protect those desks that are visible from the public area.
Yeah,
That's another point of
But the
this
one thing, when
resolution.
they're standing on the box, we cannot see your computer.
No, I have it, so you can't.
I mean,
See
the
my
one I
email,
see
you can't
that's
see
a
the-
concern is here, but Luann's desk, because it points right.
Which I really think if you could just switch it so that her exit is this way, that would probably solve that problem. Have her face
I would tend to agree.
this way.
It wouldn't protect my desk anymore. I mean, it would protect my
No,
desk from
but-
people.
Visually coming down the hall, I can see what's on your monitor anytime I want.
That's where. Plus, I'd almost think that'd be safer, because if you needed to exit, you could shoot out the engineer doors instead of having to, if somebody's blocking.
We will
it.
have to
Shoot
give
out
that
the door
some
open, yeah.
thought and consideration.
So. Are we passing this resolution as it's written? I'm okay with it, yes. I mean, that's a start. If we have to change something, at least we have it, and if we want to talk about what the signage or the verbiage is going to be, at least this is done.
Right.
I would agree.
I would make that motion to pass resolution as presented.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Non-public areas, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
All right, Shelley, I think has it ready, so I'll let her know that it passed. and
Yes, because she needs to put it on resolution.
She'll bring it.
This is the same number, all right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Luann, you're up. Luann Goki, our administrative assistant.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
All right, calendar for this week. At 2 o'clock this afternoon, Jack has a workforce CEO meeting in Muscatine. At 4 o'clock this afternoon is a Macocota River Watershed Management Authority Executive Meeting for Larry, and I think that'll be by Zoom. She hasn't actually sent that yet. 6 o'clock tonight is a short Jackson County Conference Board meeting, and that will be by Zoom. The packets were on your desk this morning, and I put the link in your calendars. Then at 7 o'clock tonight is the work session with the Jackson County Board of Health, and that will be at St. Mark's Episcopal Church. And there, none of the church itself, but in their big hall to the east of the church.
Tell me where that's at.
Kitty corner across the block, I think.
The next block up, you turn to your right and it's in the middle of the block. You can't miss the building. There's a house and then the building and then the church.
Okay. And it's in the building, not the church.
It's in the building. It's in their fellowship hall, like.
Okay.
Okay, this morning, I'm looking for an appointment,
Did you finish the calendar?
maybe not. It
We
disrupted
only
like
got to
this.
Wednesday.
We only got to Wednesday, okay, let's go back to Wednesday. Wednesday at 10 o'clock is a 0 to 5 and 60 minutes meeting for Jack. At 10:30 is the Watershed Management Authorities. They want a governor's volunteer award ceremony that will be live on YouTube now, not Zoom. And then at 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon is the in-person ceremony in Cedar Rapids. If Larry wants to go to
I
that.
think it's an in-person Zoom. The governor's not going to be there.
The governor is not going to be there. The live ceremony is at 10:30 in the morning. But the gathering, the personal gathering in Cedar Rapids is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So no, the governor, I don't think will be there.
Okay.
Kind of one of those hybrid things left over from the pandemic. 6 o'clock Wednesday night is a special 911 board meeting for a demonstration on some equipment,
Radio.
correct? Radio equipment, okay, for Mike. I don't have anything on the calendar for Thursday. Friday, July 16th at 2:30 is the 7th Judicial graduation ceremony by Zoom. for at least Larry, but I think it's open to the public.
It is, yeah.
Okay. And at 5:30 that night is the Conservation Board meeting at the John Henry Weber Park in Bellevue. That's at 5:30, I think the regular.
It's
On a Friday,
They moved it, yep.
It's up the hill, it's on top of the hill.
it's on the top, yeah,
Yeah.
you going out north of Bellevue toward the view, right on top
As
of
you
the
climb the
hill.
hill, when you
Roadside
get to the
park,
top
they
of the
call it.
hill, it's on your left-hand side.
It's always called roadside park.
Okay.
You got the Ketmans on the one, on this side, and it's right before the housing division. That's on the left. And there's a sign that says John Henry Weber.
That man covered a lot of territory in his lifetime,
I know,
considering
yeah,
that he
he's
lived
got
back in the 1830s or something. Okay, Monday, July 19th at 10 a.m. is Waste Authority of Jackson County meeting for Mike. And then at 1 p.m. is the Children's Advisory Committee by Zoom for Jack. At 2 o'clock is the Regional Advisory Committee, also by Zoom, also for Jack. And then at 3 o'clock, Jack has the Regional Governing Board meeting by Zoom. And I think there's the option to go in person, but she sent Zoom links for everything. 7 o'clock Monday night is Together We Build, also for Jack.
Jack's Day.
Is Jack's day. Our next regular meeting will be on Tuesday, July 20th at 9 a.m. That evening at 6 o'clock is the Jackson County Economic Alliance meeting by Zoom for Jack. Think that takes care of the calendar.
Okay,
All right, so in business, Preston Library Board has appointed a new trustee. Driscoll has resigned and they want to appoint Elizabeth Smithson to take her place. So looking for approval of that appointment.
Motion to approve.
Second.
a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Sounds like a good fit.
Yeah, she had a lot of credentials and been there a while.
Okay. And then I guess the rest of the business, I think I'm done. I think that we're waiting for Roger Stewart to come for the next part. So,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
this time we'll recess till we're joined with Marty Hudlik and in about 5 minutes, he's supposed to be here. Convene the meeting. And we are joined by Marty Hudlik, maintenance supervisor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First off, the sheriff's office, I got my part done over there. The electronic guys are coming in a couple, 3 weeks.
July 26th.
Yeah, to put this electric to it. We ran the wires and everything to it. I think the sheriff likes it. So, here in the building, we've got several problems. In the engineer, I got 2 valves that regulate the water. And we're gonna have them replaced. I got them, I haven't got them in. I got one in the treasurer's office I need to do in there too. Because I think they hooked the water and unhooked the water out here, we're having a lot of problems with the sinks, the faucets and the toilets. You know, they're plugging up and not flushing right, so we've been doing a lot of that.
Do we have a big filter when you come in?
No, we do not. And the biggest thing, I guess, is with the project going outside, we did find out that somebody bored through the storm sewer and the
Sanitary sewer.
sanitary sewer right out east or on the west side of the building. We were supposed to fix that this morning, but when I got to work, Birkin Underground had his machine sitting right there and they're boring that way. So we are gonna hold off, and I called Joel Woods, the gentleman that's gonna do it, and he says supposed to be a 70% chance of rain tomorrow. So we probably won't do it till like Thursday or Friday. Hopefully we get it done. But we did from the city, ran the camera down there. We do know where it's at and we do have it located. Back in the day, they must have been short on pipe because from the boiler room to where it is, there's 745-degree angles in that. And we could not get the camera down. And so where you go into the maintenance room down there, it goes out right there. And then there's a Y with an elbow. So we cut it off here and cut it off there. And then we had a better shot. Then we finally did get to it.
Wow.
But we tried the roof drain, everything,
How
couldn't get
big
there.
a pipe are we talking?
6-inch where it's broke.
And to repair, you take a certain section out and you cut and slice, or
I'm not a plumber, but I'm gonna assume that. And
this
then,
is concrete?
and I can't tell you that, it looks like it to me. Or tile or something, huh?
Would it be cast iron?
I can't answer that because it's hard to see what it is, but it's broke like it's concrete to me. But I can't answer that.
Cast would look a lot like that too.
Well, then it could be, it's cast going out, we do know that. So it could be, but I can't answer that positively.
So once you get down there, you've got the other conduit going through it this way. How do you move that up or down? You sure can't do a.
The gentleman from MediaCom came and looked at it. Believe it or not, I got a hold of them in a matter of minutes and they were here the next day. I couldn't believe that. And we told the gentleman that we really appreciate it. But he said just dig back down, squeeze it down and put the new over top of it. So
We told
that's,
him we cut it for him, but he didn't like that idea.
because it's the fiber optic. Yeah,
And it's a main feed,
yeah.
is what he
I didn't
told
like the
me.
idea of going through our pipe.
No, amen.
He actually didn't do it. They're still gonna figure out who did it and then, from my understanding, they will eventually pay for it.
Well, let's talk about that, because that's a concern. Obviously, you heard Joel Woods is gonna do this repair for us. Joel doesn't want to wait to get paid. And you know, honestly, I don't blame him.
Because he said sometimes it takes 3 or 4 months to get paid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I
So
think
we, if it's okay, I did say to Joel, we will pay you.
we're
And
getting
that was
there.
part of the discussion that I talked to MediaCom yesterday, is I would like some assurance. I don't want a verbal, I want it in writing that they will be,
That they'll reimburse
that they'll
us.
reimburse us.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
asking for. So we're gonna pay Joel and then we're gonna get the money from MediaCom. But I didn't want him to wait months to get his money.
So this conduit with the MediaCom, is that plastic then?
Yep.
You have to heat that up so it stretches when you push it down?
According to that gentleman, he thinks there will be enough that we can drop it, because it's only got to drop 3 inches.
Oh, okay.
I think
Because it came exactly through the middle of the pipe.
you dig back far enough on
Yeah.
the side underneath it.
That's what he told us. And Joel thought the same thing.
Okay.
And his digger guy, whoever he is,
This year?
yeah, Ben Shear thought that would work too. Okay,
Yep, sounds good.
and one other thing is the senior citizen building opening up, so we've been changing light bulbs. Toilets haven't been used for ages down there, so we're getting all that ready for them to open up, which I think they did today, right? I believe so.
Okay.
So does that have a new floor in it now?
That would be the Head Start side,
Okay,
and I can't answer that, but I will.
okay.
I'll go down and look. Nobody's mentioned it to me.
Well, they had plenty of time to do it. I don't know
Yeah,
why they
we
wouldn't
talked
have
about
done
it.
it when they.
Well, it's up to them. It's not up to us.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never, I loop down through there every once in a while, because somebody likes to throw their garbage out in the back there, and I pick it up, and we still have a problem with people driving from north to the baseball, through the field to get onto that road.
So 2 things on that. So last week, as we were standing looking at our issue over here on the west side of the courthouse, I did talk to Frank Ellens and I said, let's get this figured out. And I talked to Renell yesterday also. What I would like to see and what Frank suggested is a meeting between Frank and you and me and Lanny. I want to get the parking, whatever we call those parking.
The post with the cable,
posts. Yes, I'd like to get those reinstalled.
yeah,
And then that would shut off some of the people driving through. And the other thing, and this
just
is,
so they don't take them from here over to this side of the building. Because myself and Roger went up and we put a sign where they were driving through the post on the north side of that. and put a, pardon me,
The parking lot for the ball.
Yeah.
correct?
So why isn't that fenced off?
Well, that's something that we're gonna have to look at, because I'm afraid if we block this off, all that they're gonna do is move over here and come between the Operation Bellevue building and the senior citizen building,
Sure they will,
you know?
without a doubt.
So we're gonna have a meeting
Yeah,
soon, I would like. How's that?
whenever.
Yeah, soon. And I know
Well, I think
that,
it's logical that you go up and look it over and talk it over and see what.
yeah, I want us all here and, all there on the
The
ground. so we
other
can-
thing is, we need to invest in some good video cameras.
To see who's doing it.
Well, there or anywhere. It's
Yeah.
no different than the recycle bins when there's TVs and whatnot laying outside of
See,
them,
I'm not aware of
you
that.
know.
I just throw mine in the ditch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that way, yeah.
Isn't it down over here, the hot spot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, I haven't heard much out there anymore, but,
It's pretty clean.
out towards where you live.
but it's like, I mean, they got these, they're not that expensive, you can watch them from your phone, you know.
The other thing that we need to talk about in visiting with Renell is she's requesting more parking.
Oh,
And,
what's the truck sitting there?
well, we talked about that too.
Okay,
And we talked about trying to get, so what she's, obviously, she's asking for more parking, and I said, that's kind of an issue. So what she is asking me is if we would allow her employees to park in that gravel area on the west side of the building, this same area we're talking about.
where that tree is that I wanna
Yes.
cut down?
Yeah, the mulberry tree.
Okay,
Okay, so and I said to her, I would visit with you and we talked to the board. I said, we're not gonna pave it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna pave it.
sometimes the gentleman that has the back office in there
Yeah.
does park there.
Well, I said it's an issue of, would you be able to clear that area for snow?
Would I?
It's not gravel, it's gravelled, it's not
Yes,
cement.
we might have to do a little cleanup in the spring when I push the gravel.
Do you have anything there that, no, you're
I
okay
guess
with
I'm
that?
not familiar with the site,
So this is down at the
Senior
hay
center.
camp.
No, Head Start
Head Start,
Where
hay
Head
camp.
Start
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the west side of the
Yeah.
building.
They're gonna have some workers coming in, it's gonna have some busy time, and she
and it's just
talked,
grass area now? is that what
Yes.
it's kind of, yeah,
But there's room there.
Yes,
yes,
yes.
Maybe
okay,
the worker's gonna put in a new floor.
well, I talked to her, I will
I
email
will
her.
check
back.
on that. I never see anybody down there.
I don't think they did it yet.
I don't think they did
I don't
either,
think they
but
did.
I'll double check on that.
Yeah.
Couple other things, the brand new van took
It has issues.
it has issues. Somehow all the lights come on, but it won't come out of park and it won't start. It's under warranty. It's getting fixed, but he said it could be a month or so before we get it back because he can't get parts for it. So that's where we're at. The new lawnmower hasn't come in yet. They don't know where it's at. The Toro just really went to pieces today. And I don't really want to spend any money on that thing because it's like
Mhm.
25 years old and it's just what we need to repair is gonna be probably in the thousands to fix it, because the gearbox went on the mower deck and it's all broke, vibrated and broke and stuff. So that's two things. The diesel pickup, we have to drive it more. We're gonna have to just drive it on a casual basis because it's got that afterburner in it or whatever it is, and it keeps plugging up, and we just spent like $800 again to get it fixed, so I gotta drive it more. Is what they both, the place out here told me and the place I took it to get it fixed, both of them told me we need to drive it more.
That's your dump truck, you mean?
Yeah,
Well, just leave the truck you really like and drive that one instead.
the one I really like is that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
That's the.
yeah.
I thought that's the one you drove most of the time.
No, I drive my little Nissan van, because it's really easy to get around with.
Put a tarp over the box and you can use that until your van comes back.
Okay. Well, I always like a good plan, Larry.
So the
Nothing
yard,
can
I
go wrong
noticed that
there.
the yard was half mowed, is that the reason why it's half mowed?
This morning,
Yeah,
probably. It was really making noise. Mike couldn't.
so we gonna have a backup, something? so we
Yes,
can mow the rest of the grass?
yes, but it doesn't have a bagger on, because we like to bag this one and keep nice clean, but it won't, doesn't have a bagger on it. But yeah, and we will do that. Did you ever find out from was it the the place over here, how high to cut the bushes.
No, they were gonna let me know.
I don't think we want to do, but next spring, we might want to cut them and see what,
Yep.
if it works, okay? I don't think we want to do it right now
Yeah.
in the drought
It
and stuff.
looks pretty good now.
Yeah, except for
Right in
like
the middle, there's a
10
section,
foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Buck sits there with the truck running and he may be carbon monoxide, stuff. I don't know. I've talked to him on that.
The gazebo looks nice.
I thought so. We ran
It does.
short of staying, of course, we can't get none, so we're waiting for 2 weeks for another gallon of stain. Okay, so it ain't quite done. I told that to Mike and Mike, I thought it really looked nice.
Does, looks
Good.
much better.
Good choice of color and everything.
Yeah, no, looks very nice.
I think the gas pipe's done up at the care facility. Have you heard anything?
There were still equipment along the road there, so I don't know if they're done or not, but
Okay.
I see them working along the road there. That's the gas company.
Okay, and I also had to go up, half the chains that I had on that building belonged to the digger machine and he wanted back, so I had to go up and take all the chains off of, not all of them. His chains, and then I moved a few chains around. I have it braced on the end, but I ain't got it done in the middle yet because I've been over here. So I don't think it'll go over.
The 5 dead trees are still up. This is not a main
You
concern,
did we okay to cut them down?
but, yeah.
Okay, we'll get at that.
And did you and Jared talk about mowing the septic field?
Yes, I did talk to him. I told him when he got time, because he said he never ran the brush mower before. I said, when you get time, get a hold of me and I'll come up, and we'll hook it up and, because he's apparently never ran the tractor before.
Yeah, well, there ain't much to it. I mean,
Yeah, well, yeah,
give him
but
a lesson and.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm gonna do and let him do
All
it.
them pipes are in there, aren't they?
Yeah, but we're gonna mow the big part, they don't mow none of it now.
Okay.
So we're just gonna mow the big part
It's
until we get caught up here. Now that I've done over here, I should have a little more free time. I just got a couple things I need to do in the recorder's office and then I'll be done there too.
and the weeds and the thistles, did we spray anything up there?
I told Mike to do it. I can't answer if he did it, but I told him if he got time to run up there and spray that. And I will touch base with him on that.
And what do we know about our contractor for the concrete?
I've left him 3 or 4 messages and he does not call me back. I will get a hold of him. I will find him. If I see him somewhere, I will go find him, all right?
Yeah, that's
I
important.
mean, we need to have an update on it. It's gotta be
Sure.
either on his books or whatever, you
Yep.
can just give us a time.
Well, we
frame.
want to get it done and, we don't want to be out there in November doing it.
Well, they don't want a 2-day thing either, so
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's gotta put it on his schedule somewhere.
I will get a hold of him and get back to you on that.
Yeah, fine.
Anything else?
Wait, not right now.
Did you fix that closure down there?
On Arlene's door, that's where I'm headed. That's one of the things, and I gotta put up the deadeners in there. She bought things to hang on the wall because it's real echoey in the little chamber there.
So the closure, look at the closure here.
Yeah,
See how the back arm is offset?
yeah.
That one is not. It's right in line with the
Yeah.
thing.
First of all, first of all, I'm gonna have to bust a hole in the wall, cause where it is bolted to the frame is loose and it's just sitting there bending. So I'm gonna, cause we put that door in, 15 years ago. And I blow a hole in there and then I build a little thing and then I pour cement down in there to get it nice and solid again. And then I will do that, all right?
But isn't that frame solid enough?
It moves that much when they open the door.
The frame is?
Yes, because it's hollow up there. See,
I mean, typically you just drill it and thread it.
right, but you go open the door and watch it, it moves a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch in and out, or 1/4 to 3/8. All right,
Okay. Just
I'll
make sure you got your set back right on there.
yep.
Pull the template out of the box if you have to.
Well, I guess I got one somewhere. Anything else?
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
We'll try. Okay, we'll recess until we're joined by.
Is Christina coming?
Yeah. Do it. At this time, we'll reconvene the meeting and we're joined by Christina Trinell.
Hello.
Good morning.
So did you guys get a handout just recently? Okay, perfect.
Very nicely done.
Okay, good. Yeah, sorry I didn't have it a little bit earlier. If you actually turn to the page with the graph. So for the GIS updates, the past month, I've been working on data maintenance for Beacon and just requests for different data, GIS data that comes in. My goals for the next month, just kind of things as they come up. And then website updates. I want to get some more updated information on our website. Not actually only for GIS, but also for zoning. I want to just add more information to the website. And also provide links to other mapping services that would be relevant, like Beacon, FEMA, things like that. And then also we have the Iowa GIS repository. Several counties and cities have access to this, and I believe that we might have used to have information up there, but some of the frequent requests that I get are parcel data. So I'd like to have some of that up there so that we can kind of cut down on the requests for it. And I can just direct people to that website then. So those are the goals for GIS. Into the graph and the zoning permits and zoning information. In June, we did have 7 permits total. There were 4 principal use structures added and then 2 building additions and 1 sign permit. So then the total from the year to date is 56 permits total.
So for ag buildings, do they
Yes.
have to get a permit? even
Yeah,
though
I
they
didn't
have-
include those. That's a good question. Ag, they have an application that they submit to me preferably. And then there's no fee or anything like that for it. But yeah, anything that's even a dwelling, a barn, different structures that are farm related can be ag exempt, just depending on certain qualifications.
Okay,
Yeah.
then you pass that on the buck too.
I do, yes,
Okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of started realizing, I was like, no, they need to know that stuff too. I send them all the permit information, but yep, so I've been sending those to the assessor's office as well. The nuisance cases, I can flip the page over. So year to date, there have been 14 open cases or complaints. 5 have been closed and then 9 remain open, and this is just a map showing the different locations throughout Jackson County of where they are, and then the table below shows the addresses and some of the characteristics going on there.
Well, it just amazes me when I look at the pictures that you submit to us,
Yeah,
that anybody would choose to live in that surrounding.
yeah.
It is just unbelievable to me.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah,
I would hate to have them as my neighbor.
There's 9 open yet. Oh,
oh, did I have only 8 there?
No.
Oh, okay.
there's only
Oh,
8 blue dots too, I think. I don't think I turned.
I must have missed, I think I might have accidentally deleted one. This other one is out in Leisure Lake. It's, I forget the address, but it's off of Ridge. I just got it yesterday. It was, it's really less of a nuisance. It's more of a, they didn't get a permit to build. So I need to follow up with them on that.
Okay, and progress on these, you think?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking I should add more information to these as showing basically the deadlines and the status of everything. Some progress is being made, a couple of letters to go out. I'm hoping to get one sent out certified mail today. Another one, well, one of them is with the Gary DeLarm property on Caves Road. I've been working on compiling kind of like all the history of everything. Yeah, exactly. And I've been meeting with the attorney as well, just to get some more information and really understand what we legally
can do.
Because we,
there.
I mean, you know, they went to
Yeah.
court, all
Yeah.
this stuff was done
Yeah,
and, you know. And basically all he's done is brought in wagons and set them there as a fence. And he wasn't supposed to be able to bring any additional materials there. So, you know, I don't know if, and Sarah's helping you with that to go over what the courts had said and what he was supposed to do. And
yeah, yeah.
because
but-
at one time, we were told it would be so much a day fine if he didn't take care of it, but
Yeah,
we haven't seen the money, right?
yeah, it did.
Okay.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's kind of picking things back up. I think it's kind of challenging because the county did, give him permission back in 1992 to have a salvage business. And then he didn't meet those conditions of that permit back then. And so I guess where it's left at is what I'd like to do is bring it back to the Board of Adjustments to review, to determine if this is still valid, as it didn't meet the conditions, and that has been ongoing for.
And I don't know if they
20
told you, but
years.
we went
Yeah.
and planted grass seed so
Yeah.
that it would hide it and
Yeah,
he mowed it off.
okay,
Egyptian.
We were trying to
Was
fix
it
it, so
tree?
at least
Was there trees planted at one time?
there were trees,
That's part of
yes.
the agreement was
That
to
was,
plant
he was
Yeah.
supposed to
rows,
plant trees
just
as
like
part of
out
the
here
agreement.
east in Jordanville. All the trees that he planted around here, that's what was supposed to be down there. And he did plant them, but they died right away, but he never
Yeah.
replaced them.
yeah,
And that's where the catch comes in.
yeah,
And then we did the grass thing and then he mowed it down about the time it got to where it was. Now, that's the final straw. That's
yeah,
it,
yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said also earlier, from your pictures, that's not the only.
It's not the only
That's the
one.
only,
It is-
that's not the only mess in Jackson County.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I guess, and do have the Leisure Lake information and the rules and regulations and everything like that. And I have been working and been in contact with the Property Owners Association out there. And they have somebody who has kind of like a zoning, they have their own like zoning group to do some of the enforcement of their specific regulations. And I guess I would like to work with them a little bit more closely because there are several properties out there and their rules and regulations are more strict than ours.
Well, I've been to a couple of their association meetings, they asked me to come, but.
Okay.
Yeah, I basically told them, you gotta take care of your own here, you know, you gotta
Mhm.
enforce what you have.
Yeah, they do
before
have,
we- Yeah.
they do have several rules and regulations.
Covenants,
And yeah, they do. So, yeah. just
And they need to
enforce them.
enforce it in their own
Mhm.
organization.
Well, it only helps you if they can help police it,
Exactly.
so you know what's going on.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
it's work in progress.
It is work in progress. Yeah.
Any other concerns or questions or?
A couple other things that I was thinking about, I was wondering if it would be a potential that I could get a vehicle to do some of these inspections. That's kind of one thing that I wanted to,
Well, one of the things we're meeting with the health board and
yeah,
we're gonna see if we can't make some kind of an agreement that you can use that car part of the time
okay,
when they're not using it.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we find out tonight.
okay, all right, yeah, that would be appreciated.
There's a diesel dump truck that needs to be driven.
It's-
Um,
it's-
Hey, when you show up with that, they're gonna know, hey, it's-
True.
You might have to-
CDL.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't have
You might
that.
have to carry the screwdriver though. They might think you're gonna come fix the faucet. Yeah.
We will see what we can find out about that.
Okay,
Any
yeah.
other needs or wants or?
You know, I thought I had something else. I should have written it down. Oh, I guess the other thing, I was thinking about contacting other counties as well, just to see what they do for some of their zoning. And I don't know if in some cases, getting an attorney, like a third-party attorney is a case, it would be helpful or useful for me, especially I'm kind of thinking of the Delarm case, just to get like a land use specific attorney for consulting on some things. Just an idea. I'm not like asking for it right now. But I also wanted to do some research.
Possibly through ICAP.
Okay,
We have an attorney on.
Yeah, they have several attorneys that give
Retained.
us legal aid.
okay,
Yeah, so I mean, maybe
Yeah.
contact them and see if that's available without charging us number and like,
right,
because I
yeah,
think we're allowed so many hours.
okay. Cool.
Is it worthwhile to call ECIA? I know we worked
That-
through them
yeah,
when we
that-
started, yeah.
That might be worthwhile. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, it's worth asking, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can help us, but it'd be worth asking.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good. I think that was all that I have right now.
Okay,
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Don't hesitate if you have any questions or concerns.
okay, sounds good. Thank
The
you.
doors are always open.
Okay. Thanks, Lynn.
Thanks.
Roger.
Oh, hi, Roger.
morning.
And I guess
Hello.
we'll
Morning, Roger.
recess until we're joined by Matt Speck and Roger Stewart on revolving loan request. Matt Speck and from the revolving loan fund committee to discuss the potential loan request.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good.
Just to add to what you said about town hall, it'd be great to have the attorney general come sometime
Oh,
and talk
wow.
about what he would do.
Go for it.
All right.
We're ready whenever you are.
All right, so Dave Blake with Dot One and Blue Nine approached us about helping finance the addition he's putting out on his building. Dave's been a two-time borrower of the RLF program. He's made his payments on time, always agreed to it. We did the first one with him back in 2017 for his original, when he originally purchased the building. And then in 2019, we did an equipment loan to him to help him purchase some dies to help manufacture his product. He's requesting 350,000, 20-year term. Total project's 500,000. He is contributing 150,000 cash himself. Actually, if you've been by the site, you can see the concrete work and stuff has been done, and he's been paying for that thus far out of his own funds. We did get an appraisal done. That just came back. Appraisal came back at 900,000. Currently, we do have a first mortgage on the building from our 2017 loan. There's about 230,000 left on that one, so we would still have a first position. We would just be adding this 350 to that.
Good question on Dot One and Blue Nine. Are they two separate?
One's his real estate holding company, and then one would be the operating company. They set it up for accounting reasons, tax reasons. So that's the way we
Is
see it.
there any collateral in Dot One?
Dot One would be the real estate holding company, so that's where our mortgage would be technically with that entity. And if you see, we do take a guarantee of Blue Nine, so we do take a guarantee on the operating company as well. So we tie up both entities.
Together.
And clarify that.
And then we would take personal guarantee on David Blake, and then plus assignment of life insurance on David as well, since he's a sole owner. The review committee did meet in May and has approved the request as presented. Reason we were waiting for the appraisal to come back, and that just took some time. And like I said, we just got that back last week. to Make sure collateral is sufficient.
Okay, so if we make this loan, that pretty much wipes us out.
We do get, I did look, we get about 12,000 a month back in payments monthly. Once More and Blue Nine go to full payments, it'll be about 15,000 monthly coming back into the fund in payments.
So it'd be a considerable amount of time before we could make any kind of an additional loan to anybody. I mean, by the time you accumulate $12,000 a month, that's gonna take a while to grow.
It's 144,000 a year.
Yeah.
Question that I had, though, does anybody know the balance in the account, or what are you waiting for?
800,000.
There's
We have
800
800,000 in the account right now. We've said that we potentially may need 300,000 for the Together We Build, which brings it down to 500,000. If you do this 350,000, then you're down to 150,000. So I don't know what the potential is for us to give money to the Together We Build, but we still can't use that money. I mean, we did promise.
We'd be back up to 200,000 pretty quick.
Yeah.
It isn't like we're completely wiped out.
Yeah, and ECIA does have, we cover Jackson County, we have revolving loan funds too, we can use if a project would come up, we just always try and use Jackson counties before we. use our own.
I understand that your appraisal will come back on 900,000. Is that the whole building as completed?
As completed,
As
as the draw, like, so the appraiser came in, looked at it, looked at Dave's drawings and what he's gonna build, how it's gonna get built out. And
Okay,
it's-
and I know he's making his payments. Has anyone looked at the books as far as
Yeah,
profits or?
we would have done that when we went to loan committee to approve the request back in May.
That's what I figured you would have to.
So that was all presented.
See how things are going.
Correct. And through the pandemic, the pen industry has done very well.
It's
Yeah.
amazing to see which companies went down and other ones went up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would, the pen industry has done, as you can tell, I mean, you see on the news where it's hard to get a pet from a humane society. They don't have them. So,
They have a trial for dogs coming up this week, at the end of the week, brings a lot of people to town. You'd be amazed if you went down there to see what goes on when they bring these dogs in for leaping into water and that kind of thing.
Yeah, catching frisbees and we need more puppy mills, is that what you said?
I guess another question I have is why, how did you determine the 2% interest rate?
That's been what we've been doing lately. I defer to Matt on that.
interest rates are just historically low. I mean, our SBA rates now for 20 and going through the SBA are 2.8 for 20-25 years fixed.
Last Friday, the 30-year fix come out at 2.62.
You know, that's why we put the adjustable in there, but it's just historically, we just have been low.
And this it comes up in 5 years for.
Yeah,
interest.
it comes up in 5 years, and I mean, we have a lot of latitude in 5 years. It doesn't say it can raise by 1 or 2% at the end of 5 years. It could go to the maximum.
Yeah, we put it at a cap at 6.
I know that. but
Previous ones, as far as payoffs, do we have anything coming up that are going to diminish or?
Do we have any balloon?
Did you bring us our reports?
No, we don't have anything coming up. I did not make enough copies for everybody. I apologize, but here's where we're at with monthly payments coming in. Here's-
Give it to Luann and she will go make us copies because we all want a copy of it.
Nothing, the earliest one paying off will be 2028. There is no balloon payments at this time.
2028.
So we're looking at that. 140, that was 144.
We're getting 12,000.
Just for this loan.
Well,
Or no, for all the loans.
all our outstanding loans right now, it's about 12,000 a month coming back.
Not
Once-
including this loan.
No, once the more loan, which the board approved last month, comes back full payments, and then this loan, you'll be at a little over 15,000.
Okay.
So you're looking at
200,000 a year.
65 a year, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I
To
know
me,
you don't
it's
wanna run
good.
yourself short, but it's there for a reason.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because it's not doing any good if it's just sitting there.
We went for quite a period of time where
We didn't have any.
the money just sat there, you know? And we kind of, what we've done, or what ECIA has done is that we've kind of broadened the applications in regard to what we've done lately. And we put the money to use, I guess that's what.
I guess with that size of a building, he's only looking at another couple jobs.
Yeah,
Two, it said.
a lot of it's hard. I mean, just with a lot of places we see anymore, they're trying to get more efficient, and that's what's gonna lead, this building will lead to efficiencies for it. And I think right now, product might get buried, and so you gotta unbury it to ship it out. And so just efficiencies that come with a new building.
And as far as applicants, other applicants? Any on the horizon that we,
Not at this time. So I think we could be back to the 200,000 pretty quick.
yeah, and to be honest, we could, and if we don't have to use the 300 for to get it rebuilt, we're back to 500 real quick.
The Together We Build isn't contemplating any structure this year, or are they gonna start next year? Do anybody know?
I think they're planning to start this year.
Okay.
Might have to with some of the grants they received.
What?
Would they have to with some of the grants they received?
I have no idea
And how long
if
those-
that's it or not.
So if something would happen to come in where we need like maybe $100,000, is that something like Cook County could borrow through Northland Securities and then loan it out or not?
Before we would do that, maybe, so say we got back to the 200,000, or you got your fund back to 200,000 and say somebody wanted 300,000. Maybe before you borrow it, I'd be willing to look and take your 200,000 and take ECIA's, one of our revolving loan funds to get to the 300,000.
Okay.
If we've got it sitting there and
All right.
then we could, prorate
Is
the,
there escalation clauses in any of these as far as
just the interest rate.
going forward? No.
No. They all would get evaluated usually after the 5 years, and then hopefully if we can evaluate interest rate,
They can pay it off at any time if they want.
correct. If you look at most of these on here, they're fairly small businesses in the community or the county.
You don't have the amounts for these, or.
The outstanding, no.
I guess, it is what it is. That's what it was there for. I hate to deny somebody something and it's there and we don't use it. I guess why would we use it? I mean, unless we got them waiting in line. First come, first served, the way it looks, I think.
Well, it looks like with what the funding you have, it's out there. If we, if something does come up, we can get something done with it, so.
But you look at $765,000 that we've lent them since 2017. That's a lot of money out of our revolving loan fund. I mean,
In one spot.
that's a huge amount at one place.
And there's what, 3 in place? That's the one.
He's got 3 right now.
Right.
Yeah, then the owner, and then plus looking at probably 2 more.
And I guess another issue that we talked about yesterday was the mortgage and the life insurance from PMW. Is that going to be able to be changed so that, or can you explain why it is the way it is?
So I talked to our attorney about it, and since we administer it, we're trying to keep the burden. Otherwise, the county is gonna have to be at those closings to sign those documents. And then the same is when they do come time to release, the county would need to release that. So just part of us administering the grant. That's the way it's set up. Like I said, our attorney's been doing that since he started, and I think that's been almost 30 years ago. That's the way that the county one runs. If you want to change, we can do assignments. We can assign it all over to you, but then ultimately either you're gonna have to give us power of attorney back to release it, or the county's gonna have to release it when it comes time.
Well, I think that's something we have to talk about.
So when it comes to the life insurance, what does that look like?
It's just an assignment form with us on it. They're signing it over.
So how
with
do
the
we know that
policy
got done?
number. It's the
So we don't
policy.
have any paperwork to say that any of this got done, right?
We have it in our file.
But
Again,
the
just,
county doesn't know that it got done, because nothing ever gets sent here, right?
and no, we can if you want the paper.
I
I
guess the
think it would
question
be
is how-
advantageous to have copies of all of that so
Yeah,
that we know it's all taken care of and it's all done the way it needs. to
Yes,
be.
basically, it's like an audit. We want to know, make sure that it's done, and if if it did proceed, I know we had a delay with the abstract or the deed or something, I don't remember what that was.
So we talk about the PMW. Is there any other loans like that
No, abstracts are usually where we get delayed on.
But I'm
Because-
saying though, so you had a life insurance and a property mortgage for BMW as an example, and it looks like you're gonna do life insurance and a mortgage here for Blue 9. Are all of them like that, or is it just those two
It
examples?
depends on the collateral and it depends on the ownership of the business. If we take the life insurance or not. We don't always, like I said, sometimes if we're taking equipment, we won't take a real estate mortgage. So it all varies. Each loan is different.
Do we know what the life insurance is?
On Dave, it'll cover our loan amount. So he'll probably have to increase.
But again, we still don't know that that's up to date every year.
We get notified by the insurance. company if they
Okay,
do
well, that's good
cancel.
to know, but I think we should probably know that.
You don't know anything right now.
No, I know.
No,
Yeah.
Well, we
like-
do.
like-
I mean, we're taking his word.
Well, like you said, that's something we can change as
Yeah.
boards change. I think it's probably good to talk about and discuss. You know, like I said, we have it in our file, so, but if you want a file, let's.
So we get an acknowledgement from the insurance company that, of course.
That is paid
So,
out.
yeah, because like if they let the real estate insurance go or they cancel it for some reason, we get notified because we're listed on there. And so then we have to call them up and say, hey,
Mhm.
what's going on with your insurance company? Oh, you're changing companies, that's fine. Just make sure we get added and then get the endorsement sent over.
and at this point in time, all of our loans are being paid, the payments are being paid on a regular basis in a timely fashion.
Correct. We only had one loan listed on here that did miss 2 months during the pandemic, 2 or 3. So we're working with them to get them caught up, but now they're back on. But it was just, they got hit when COVID hit and I think it was 3 months. So, but we've been working with them and like I said, they're back making payments now.
Well, that's a pretty good percentage, with
Yeah.
the way everything went,
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good.
That's, yep, I was just thinking, Tim,
But it's,
TM Woodworks is our other one we're working with. They've been on before I started.
Who's this?
TM Woodworks out of Preston.
they're not on.
They're down, and I noticed that after I got this, they missed them when they made this sheet up.
So is that included in the 12,000 or?
No, I'm trying to get them paid off.
Okay.
ASAP,
We're well secured on that, right?
correct.
Very well secured. I think we have real estate.
We do have real estate on that.
Yeah.
But I call him monthly to try and just get that one paid.
It's
off.
been historical. It's gone on forever.
So I can't put it, if it was on here, it's not.
That's right, because I was
consistent.
like, did they pay that off? I was
No.
like, okay, yeah, no, I was just, that's what
That's a
came to
good
my
point.
mind, and I was like,
At what point in time do you step in and
Have the attorney step in. We've got it paid down to a fairly decent amount. He owes 17,000. Something.
That's not
so-
very much going for what it is.
And
No, so
it's ag real estate. We
Yeah.
have,
on 40 acres, I think. So,
But it's not something we just let go.
correct, and like I said, I call him.
Yeah.
so you have a mortgage against the farm? So there'd be another one.
Pardon?
That would be another one that they have a mortgage against the farm.
Okay, anybody else have any questions, or what's the pleasure of the board on this request?
Well, I guess, I feel like I need to side with the recommendation of the board, of your, what do you want to call it? Your
Revolving
Committee.
loan fund
Revolving
committee.
loan committee, yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I would make a motion to approve the loan as presented.
I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I guess I'm disappointed in the number of new employees. When we look at 765,000 and you're saying with these new employees, that'll be 4 plus him. And our whole goal in having this revolving loan fund was job creation. And that certainly hasn't been happening. So I think it's a great business. I just hate to drain us down that far, but that's just my opinion. So any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
One other thing I might mention in regard to the Tempo Dance Studio, they've done a lot of work on the building and it looks really nice inside. And I'd urge you at any time to go and look what they've done.
So you're
inside.
taking dance lessons now?
Yeah.
Good, good.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good.
So you were a good dancer before.
We need to see a cartwheel.
You still have your tap shoes on.
No, I wore them out.
I guess another question that I have last week when I was up at ECIA, Kelly and I were talking about a couple different things. And she brought up again the desire of Nick to be on the revolving loan committee. And I said that we basically had said it was going to stay with bankers, but I wanted some input from you if you believe that that's the way it should stay.
What we've talked about in the past is having Nick be available or anybody available for the open meetings beforehand. As far as the vote on whether we approve or don't approve, we've done it with bankers with experience for a long time. And they do have experience in financing, and that's their expertise. And I'd say that in regard to the losses, any losses that we've had or any problems that we've had, we've managed to go through a long period of time without any losses. Not that we haven't had glitches here and there and a little bit of past due here and there, but we've always been in a position where we're secured. We feel we're secured. And I want to give a shout out to the people that serve on that board because they have a lot of expertise and a lot of experience and looking just at the application. Are we secured? Are these people responsible? And I think the members of the board have done a pretty good
Oh,
job.
I agree.
I do too. I commend them, yeah.
We are not without risk, though.
Sure,
nobody is.
Life is a risk.
That's right, yeah. So any one of these, for some circumstance, could go bad. And maybe under circumstances that we can't control. So
Kind of a-
Oh,
Cashier explains a lot of things
Yeah.
that can happen.
in answer to your question, I welcome anybody from Jackson County Economic Alliance to come to any reviews that we have.
And that's basically, a lot of them, he's helped them get ready.
Mhm.
And I can understand why he might want to be there to help promote the project. But I guess I'm really not in favor of anybody but the bankers being the ones that make the
Voting
final
members, yeah.
decision.
In all the cases that we have no ulterior motive when we go into a meeting.
No.
And in the past, if there was a conflict of interest, bankers have stepped aside. I've
Sure.
stepped aside on the vote several times because it had to do with customers of our bank. So we've tried to do it in a fair and equal manner.
Thank you.
We did, I closed the loan on Morris today too, so we're getting our equipment ordered. There was a 12-week lead time on it, on the equipment, no, it bumped to 26 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Say that again, Matt?
so we gave them the down payment on the equipment so they get that order on Morris loan. And the lead time moved from 12 weeks on the equipment to, it was either 24 or 26
Oh, my.
weeks
Oh, boy.
to get it,
Yeah.
so.
We have no control over that.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
We have no control, and certainly there's risk there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's just been a weird year to.
Yeah, yep.
do
And
this
that's-
stuff.
The hard part about that, now you spent the money and you can't make any money with that equipment for half a year. Yeah.
Correct, and at least it wasn't a huge down payment to get it ordered.
how much was it?
35,000 of the 100 that was approved, so. He told me we could advance the rest once the.
You have one more vote?
Do we?
I hope so. So you approve the loan,
We did?
but you also need to.
Oh, we gotta approve the transfer?
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah, okay. I would make a motion to approve the transfer agreement as presented also.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye, motion carried.
That's okay.
Two
I
separate.
would- The one other thing I would say is that I want to thank the board, I've been around for quite a while, worked with the board, your board, this board of
We're glad to.
supervisors, and you've always been fair and good to us, and were honest with us, and we've done the same, try to that with you too. So I want to thank you for your work.
Well, we certainly depend greatly on your board to come up with a recommendation to us, because you're on the other side and we're not.
Yep.
So.
Hope for the best, hopefully that we don't have any.
We always
Pitfalls.
hope for the best.
Yeah.
Amen, amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks, Roger.
You bet.
Did you have to dance?
I gotta get up there quick.
Any other business to come before the meeting today? Any committee reports? I went to Des Moines last Friday, and I will tell you, I don't know that I've ever had a day that was quite so wasted.
That's sad when. that
They
happens, yeah.
didn't really follow an agenda. And
And that was for,
workforce
Oh.
for the Cleos.
oh,
And there were only 6 Cleos there. Those that were eligible to come. And then I just guess I was
not very
just-
informational.
no. And to add to that, it was supposed to be at Adventureland, but it was in West Des Moines. And I said to Luann, I said, it was 34 miles from where it was supposed to be to where it was. So, it was, I'll tell
And
you,
who was in charge of running that? The state?
no, one of the Cleos
Oh,
thought that we should have a meeting of all the Cleos to discuss the CARES funding and all the stuff that's happening with the workforce development. But they wanted to know what your successes in your region were, what your shortfalls were. And I guess I was the only one that really told them what our successes were. And I told them what some of our concerns were. But when it got to the American Rescue Plan, they said there was stay tuned, basically, is what they said. And so I suggested if we were going to meet again, it should be while we're at ISAC. So we're not making a special trip out to Des Moines for what I considered a very unproductive meeting.
That's a good idea.
I guess I question a little bit the CARES Act money being used for that, because isn't that an independent, or not an independent, but I mean.
Well, see, workforce development is getting money also.
Okay.
not the ARP that we're getting, no.
No,
They get their own.
they're, Iowa workforce is getting money, and we have asked for that to be allocated to the regions rather than stay with the state board.
Okay.
But they had their state board, their noon meeting. And one of the people one of the guys that was there, he called Michelle McNerney after the meeting was over to see what they had decided to do with the refunds, because we had sent a letter. I had sent a letter from our region saying, we didn't think they should get 35 or 40% of that funds for the state. That should come out to the areas that are trying to do the work and provide the staff and everything. And basically what he found out from his phone call is that they have some different options. And he said, well, would you send those options out? And she says, well, I'll see if I can. And so, of course, we talked about the open meetings law. That's a workforce board, so it should follow the open meetings law as everybody else. So anything that they discuss or decide on should be public information, so we'll see if
Well,
we
and they
get that.
discussed about having training sessions and stuff for people. And I know like the Carpenters Union, they have apprenticeships. Does the Iowa workforce have that information from all these trades? They
Well-
offer all that training.
I'll tell you,
on-
apprenticeships and internships is something that I have been pushing for the last
Mhm.
2 years. And they keep telling me that that's on their plate.
But these unions and stuff have that, and they've been doing that for 50 years or more.
Well, I said,
Why
even,
aren't they
even,
connected? Why, I mean,
but you know, just look at McCoken and Jackson County. If you need an electrician, it's like pulling teeth. If you need a plumber, you know, you better hope it's not a serious problem because you're gonna wait for at least 2 to 3 weeks before you get one there. They might come and look at what the problem is, but there's such a shortage of it. And that's what I've said, you know, small communities, they just don't have those workers.
Right.
And unless we can get some apprenticeships and internships going and some basic training at the community colleges and then life experience and work experience after that. But I don't know what we're gonna end up with.
But a lot of those people go to the bigger companies that can pay.
Sure
more
they,
with-
sure they do.
and what about the high school? I mean, do they still have the woodworking class and?
They still have.
They're still
welding and-
working with, I know I seen, read something the other day that they're working with, like, getting into the schools and.
Well, they had a meeting last week when I was in Des Moines, down in in Clinton. And it was supposed to be for the school systems in Clinton and Jackson County. And I got a list of who participated, but they did, Miranda said they did make a tape, but I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet.
I think carpenters, you can start at $20 an hour as an apprentice and work, and then you take your classes at night and different things like that. And I mean, it's an excellent program.
Well, on the work, on our area workforce board, we have several men, and this one man, Matthew, he said, I made my career through my apprenticeship.
Mhm.
And he says, now I'm running the apprenticeship for the company that he works for. But
You hear it on both sides, they say if you pay them more, they'll just work less, they don't care. I don't know, you
I
know,
don't
you
know,
start,
Art.
you start
Well-
at the dog food place up in Dubuque at $20 an hour.
and we had our DHS meeting last week and lots of stuff going on with that. Did we find out when that special meeting's gonna be, Luann,
Which one?
for DHS?
No, it'd be the 19th or the 21st, but she hasn't got back to me yet.
We have to elect a new chair because Mark resigned. And we thought we were doing it last week, but the director Garcia decided we would wait and have a special meeting because she wanted to do some more interviewing for the chairmanship place, so. Anyway, there's nothing else. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.